So this business, will Micheál Martin be invited to the White House for St. Paddy's Day or won't he? Sparking a lot of debates. People thinking, well, he won't get invited because the Irish government don't exactly line up politically or ideologically with the Trump administration. And of course, we have Simon Harris, who's been insulting Trump one way or the other since November. So on paper, doesn't look like an invite would be forthcoming. Will they, won't they? Nothing's been sent out yet. And I've noticed that as this question is being asked, many people are leaving their thoughts and opinions on the comment section of these videos as to, well, who should go to Ireland to represent Ireland at the White House on St. Patrick's Day if it's not the Irish government? People are talking about Conor McGregor. People are talking about Enoch Burke. Should they be going? Other people are saying, well, why are people going from Ireland to celebrate St. Patrick's Day in the White House? If anything, should people not be coming to Ireland? Should Ireland not be hosting people in Dublin for St. Patrick's Day? It's a bit of a mess. So as I go through this, I'm going to be thinking about some of the options that maybe haven't been examined as to why Martin may just get his invite to go there and what they expect if he does go and what lies ahead for the rest of the year with Ireland and the Trump administration. So listen in and make sure you leave your ideas and thoughts on what's being said here in the comments section below. So here we have a picture of Martin looking very smug indeed. I wonder what he's just done to make him grin like that. Normally has a constipated expression on his face, but he looks rather, let's just say, self-satisfied. What's he been up to? Invite due. Government don't expect any hiccups over St. Patrick's Day US trip, as Martin set to meet Donald Trump twice this year. So it's forecasted that he's going to meet Trump twice. And the first of those meetings, probably, maybe, will happen on St. Patrick's Day over in America. An official invite is expected this month. Now, this was written about a week or so ago. There's been a lot of toing and froing since, but this really sets the stage for Martin's possible visit there. So why would Trump bring him over, given what's been said and, Trump and Netanyahu are BFFs. Martin and Harris have been very pro-Palestinian and all the developments that have happened since then. They don't really line up, and throw in a few insults on top of that. Trump's a businessman as well, don't forget. So, he's taking advice. And maybe you know this, maybe you don't know this, but Ireland is one of the biggest foreign investors in the United States, even bigger than Israel. A government sources said we would be working closely to build closer ties, with the Trump administration and improve relations between them and the EU. Well, Trump's no big fan of the EU. So they'll be working pretty damn hard if they want to build any bridges there. The president has been briefed on the level of Irish investment in America, and there you have it. Money, 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 money. And no matter what people say or what questions are being asked, there's always a sage piece of advice that you could follow to get the answer to that question, and it's follow the money. So if Micheál does get invited over, then you've got to ask yourself why, and maybe you're just going to have to follow the money. The president was briefed. He knows about Irish investment in America, and of course he knows how important that is to the American people. We don't expect any hiccups in relation to St. Patrick's Day meeting, and all indications are that it will go ahead as planned. So I would say the vast majority of American people don't really know or don't really follow closely what's going on in Irish politics, unlike the people of Ireland, of course. And of course, Trump will be briefed on that on a personal level. So he'll be weighing this up, okay, and lots of investment coming in here. And also, of course, PR, Ireland, America go hand in hand, hand in glove, really. So they don't expect any hiccups, but the invite hasn't been sent out yet. If things go according to plan and the forecasting is right, Trump and Micheál will also see each other again at the G20 summit in South Africa in November. Ireland isn't a member of the G20, but Martin is being invited as a guest of the South African government. And by the way, if you don't know what's happening in South Africa at the minute, check it out. South Africa is disintegrating as we speak. They have terrible infrastructure. Their government is talking about land grabs for their own benefit. The electricity situation is abominable with their provider Eskom. They're having difficulty securing running water. The whole country is a mess. Unemployment is rampant. Crime is through the roof. But Micheál's been invited as a guest of the South African rotten to the core government in preparations for Ireland's presidency of the EU in 2026, as if the EU didn't have enough problems as it was. As it is, Ireland will lead it in 2026. That's next year. Hell's bells. In fact, it's not even a year away. It's only, 10 months and we're into 2026. Can you believe it? Preparations are underway for the traditional St. Paddy's Day Washington summit. The formal invite from Trump is expected in the middle of February, but behind the scenes, diplomatic preparations are already underway. So, it would appear from this article that this is nailed down, but it's not nailed down. It's not nailed down. Of course, other people are commenting that it's not a good move for Micheál to go. That's assuming he gets invited. So they're assuming he's invited and they're assuming there's a possibility there that he's going to snub the invite. Here we have the Irish Independent writing why it would be a huge mistake for Martin, the Taoiseach, to snub an invite at the White House on St. Patrick's Day. Trump has surrounded himself with those who shares America's first view of things. He needs to hear other points of view. Does he? Does he care? He's 78. He's got the blinkers on. He's doing whatever the hell he wants. Do you think he wants to sit down and listen to alternative points of view, especially coming from a beta like Martin, who looks like he's in a permanent state of constipation when he doesn't look like he's got that little self-satisfied grin on his face after doing who knows what? Why do you think Micheál Martin was grinning, by the way, in that first photograph? Let me just show you it again. What do you think about that smile on Micheál's face? I shudder to think. Palestinians walking past the rubble of buildings destroyed during the Israeli offensive, of course, completely supported by Trump. So, lastly, RTE's take on things. I have to scrape the bottom of the barrel today before bedtime. Opposition politicians here are already asking the Taoiseach to reconsider going to Washington, D.C. Of course they are. They have to be seen to opposing and they're not going to get invited. So they want Micheál to stay in Dublin. Given what they describe as Israel's genocide in Gaza and Trump's plan for ethnic cleansing of the population, it places Micheál on the horns of a dilemma. Yeah. Engaging with Trump could yield vital information about what tariffs might be coming. And there's the T word again. Everything's just nothing certain. Nothing certain. And yet getting cozy with Trump could have negative consequences, which will endure for Micheál Martin's second tenure as the Taoiseach. So it's not a given that he'll be there. But one thing that I want to ask is, and I understand why people want high profile or higher profile Irish representatives maybe to go to Washington to meet Trump. The two names that I'm seeing everywhere are Conor McGregor and Enoch Burke. And nothing against those guys. Nothing against those guys. But what I'm seeing, the real representatives of Ireland that I'm seeing are actually the people that I've been talking to over the last month or two since this channel was established proper. Normal, everyday Irish people who have taken a stand against government, called out government shenanigans and skullduggery, protested against government overreach, lost their jobs because of their stances, blocked major works by American mining companies. So if you were to ask me, and again, I don't know a lot of people, But the people that I do know and the people that I have met, I would nominate them to go and meet Trump if they wanted to, of course. But I do believe, I have to ask the question, well, why are they going, leaving Ireland in the first place? Why isn't Trump coming here? But set that to the side also. Look at some of the people that I've spoke to. Look at Councillor Tom McDonald. He's driving around in his van with a group of people from a mega era, raising money, driving into West Ireland, delivering cookers, getting support from local businesses, delivering coal, kettles, because the Irish government still haven't got the power on in many homes after 2 weeks. They're nowhere to be seen. What about somebody like him? That's just one example. What about Mark Malloy, the Cookstown Sizzler? He and the group that he's part of, they've been vehemently opposing the stripping of the Spurren Mountains in County Tyrone from Dalradian mining, and succeeded, at least in the short time, in getting the brakes put on that project because of the damage that it'll cause to the infrastructure. Dr. Jerry Waters, the only doctor in Ireland that was struck off as being a conscientious objector for not following certain protocols over the last 5 years, after 40 plus years experience in the medical profession, he lost his job. He lost his position because he took a stand and did what he believed was right. And he knows his apples and his pears, one from the other. What about him? There's so many people, so many people campaigning against transgender ideology in schools. The Irish Natural Women's Council, I believe it is, Jana London and co, they're doing a great job. I'm just firing ideas and names just off the top of my head. I haven't anything prepared for this. I'm just riffing this. Who should represent Ireland? Should it be McGregor? Should it be Enoch Burke? Or should it be someone who's out there at the cold face, an unsung hero, if you will, but they can certainly talk straight and certainly shoot from the hip and certainly tell Trump what it is like on the ground here. Call a spade and not a big spoon. So, what do you think? Who should be there? Should it be a celeb or a higher profile person? Should it be given to someone who's operating at a lower level but still as effective and has sacrificed as much? Should anybody go at all? Should he not have to come here on St. Patrick's Day? After all, he's celebrating St. Patrick. So, just a thought, just leaving my thoughts for today. Leave yours under this video. Leave a comment. Question what I've said. Is it tripe? Am I talking tripe? Or some sense, a little bit of sense, a big bit of sense? If you like the content, please subscribe to this channel. Share this content. Especially, best way to do it is cut and paste the link and put it into a Facebook group or put it into a WhatsApp group or other social media groups that you might use, Telegram groups, whatever. I don't really use a lot of those groups. I'm strangled on them and really suppressed on them. So this is my output as per now. So please, and for those that have been sharing the content, massive thanks to you. We're starting to see some momentum building here now. So if you like it, share it. If you don't like it, share it anyway. And thank you for listening. This is me, Rick Munn, No Risk, No Reward Media, over and out.